Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of the Shaida Effect podcast. This month is the month of Ramadan and I hope all of you are having a good one so far. So recently I've been reminiscing my Umrah journey and I can't help thinking how I missed the journey. And somehow I remembered Alya, one of my friends who also went for Umrah, and I reached out for her. And initially, she wanted to talk about women-related issues, but I guess there are things that can be merged along the way. So let's welcome Alia. Hi, Alia.
Hi, hello everyone.
So maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Alya Marina. I'm 23 this year. Currently studying in UKM, and I'm barely coping. But I've been getting myself, I can say, indulged in short story writing recently, which is like a hobby of mine that just resurfaced. So it helps. Thank you so much for having me, Shaida. I'm so glad to be here.
No problem. It's been a while actually. Oh, I noticed that you're starting to write short stories now.
Yeah, yes, I do. I write some.
Okay, I'm gonna have to read them later.
Okay, sure. Uh,
Maybe,
but you can also buy one of them.
huh?
Uh, you can also. This is random, but self-promoting. I'm doing a little bit of self-promoting. You can also buy the new magazine of Tunas Cipta under DBT. There's a short story of mine there. Okay.
Wow. Okay, I'm definitely gonna get myself a copy of it.
Okay.
Okay, so um, for warm-ups, I think maybe we can discuss about what is Umrah actually for our non-Muslim listeners. What is what exactly is Umrah? What is its significance? Why is it so significant to us Muslims?
Alright. So basically, Umrah is also known as pilgrimage, which is a religious journey to Mecca, and also means visiting a populated place in Arabic. So it's considered as a short version of Haji lah. And in an
Mm,
Umrah trip, the two main rituals that should be performed are tawaf, which is circling the Kaabah 7 times, and
mm,
also sa'i, which is basically a walk to Safa and Marwah, which is also done 7 times. So, in the way I see it, there are two significances of it on a surface level in general. Like one is self-cleansing. When
mm-hmm.
we make it there to Mecca and we are accepted as the guests of Allah SWT, so it would be a humbling journey for us to come there and ask for His forgiveness. Another significance of it is that I see it as a step closer to gain the love of Allah SWT and to love Allah and our deen even more. So it's not just one way. I mean, I have heard this misconception that any act of worshipping is like expecting to gain His love, but actually I think Allah has loved us more than we ever known. So our act of worship is actually for us to love Him back, to love Him even more. So, by this act of worshipping, it's hoped that we can love and cherish Him and our religion even more in the process. Because we will start to plan this journey ahead for years, and
Mm.
when you reach there, and when we reach there, we witness the place where great prophets, including Rasulullah SAW, had his battle to conquer Mecca, and not forget to mention the story of Hajjah and other prophets. These people walk on that land. Those incredible stories happen there. So I believe it's like a way to increase our iman. And that's it.
I think that's amazing that you've said that Allah has always, loved His creations, and it's a means of when we go for Umrah, right? It's like a way for us to love Him back, um, because and it's also because that the prophets have walked those land, right, in Medina and also in Mecca, and it's amazing that you mentioned that. So when you did your Umrah, right? When was it actually? Like, is there a specific, when people do Umrah, is there a specific um, time period? Like, is it only, for example, in April only, or can people go all year round?
Yeah, unlike Haji, Umrah can be performed all year round because Haji has restricted periods of month. that you have to follow. But for Umrah, we actually performed Umrah in 2019 on the 14th of January. I was there for 10 days. So we
Mm.
went back to Malaysia on the 24th of January. And I went there with my family, Alhamdulillah.
With your family, with your close family lah.
Yes, our parents and our siblings.
I see. So, so Umrah is generally around 2 weeks like that, right? 10 days.
Yeah,
Then.
around 2 weeks, 10 days.
So, you went with your family. How did you plan the journey, or is it just your parents who planned it? Did you have to go for like, what kind of preparations did you make?
Okay, so I think different preparation for different people. When you mention my parents, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean my dad who planned this umrah for us by registering under Tabung Haji must have had lots more preparation to do compared to me, financially and all. And surely you have to do some health checkups, filling in this form and that form. But if you're asking me on the other aspects besides the rules and registrations, I
Mm-hmm.
would encourage one to do three things maybe as preparation for the Umrah. First is do sufficient homework regarding Umrah. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't mean this by just about the do and don'ts, like
Mm-hmm.
the sah and tak sah, but the historical stories within it. Like, why are we doing it? As for me, I jot down notes in a specific notebook and brought it along with me through my Umrah journey. One
Oh,
is
that's cool.
because I'm paranoid because I was like, what if I miss a crucial step that should be done? So then
Oh,
this Umrah trip will be wasted. I'm
it's
paranoid
true.
like that. So second, because I like to remind myself the significance of it. You could also add in like du'as that you find online that is recommendable to recite during your Umrah journey. So like that's a plus lah. And while you are there, you could also update your little notebook. So it could be like a traveler, I would say. Of
Ah.
course, you don't have to have a whole physical book. Like even your notes app in your phone could do juga. So yeah, I did those too. And oh, the first one, right? The second one is I would say clear your heart. I mean, your niat should be in the place lah, in the right place. I mean, you can ask yourself, like, do you know why you're going on this journey? Because if you don't think it through, you might end up there and thinking, like, well, I could be doing my assignments right now, or
Mm-hmm.
worse, you might lose your focus there very easily.
That's
Like,
right.
I would give an example of what I mean by this with the story of my parents' friend.
Mm-hmm.
She went there to perform her umrah tau, but
Mm-hmm.
instead of probably doing her umrah, she instead lost track of times and been shopping for days, buying the pretty
Oh
dresses, jubah and
no.
all. And when her trip ended on her way back, she was like, wait, what have I just done? I mean, she did the basic rituals of Umrah, like Sa'i and Tawaf, but she
Mm-mm.
didn't visited the historical places, she didn't participate in the bus trips,
Oh.
she didn't do Qiyams and all that. So it's important to know that you are on your Umrah journey and not a shopping spree or and not casual traveling or yada yada. And the last one I would say is maybe some exercise. I mean, it wasn't really that tiring, but you're gonna do lots of walking, fast walking. Personally, I don't find it that physically challenging lah, alhamdulillah, because it's nothing compared to haji kan.
Mm-mm.
And this is coming from me who is physically unfit. So probably because I went there during the cold season too, so it wasn't that tiring. But still, I would encourage for people to familiarize themselves with some light exercises like weeks before your trip lah. So those are the three preparations that I would recommend for one to do before their Umrah trip.
I see. Thank you for your tips. It's actually very useful, and I find myself not following three of your tips at all when I was heading for Umrah. Uh, you're speaking for
Maybe
my.
you have
Hmm?
maybe you have different tips.
Uh no, I definitely would recommend your tips because okay, I think I would like to share a little bit lah juga of my Umrah trip.
Alright.
Actually, I didn't know at all that I was going to be doing Umrah, because my parents planned it, not secretly lah. Well, okay, secretly lah juga. Like they were planning it on their own, and they didn't even tell their children about it. And at that time, I was still in Unimas, kan. I was just doing my assignment, blah blah blah, whatever, kan. And then suddenly they told me at the very last minute, maybe like, I think 3 weeks or something, or 1 month prior
Oh,
to the trip,
wow.
huh? So I was like, what? We're going for Umrah, and I have no idea what to feel. Honestly, I rasa macam kosong because I wasn't prepared. Macam I didn't do my homework. I didn't know what to expect, and I was like, oh, Umrah, and then kan macam, uh, kita bukanlah religious sangat pun kan. Macam, so I don't know what to expect. I was like, I don't think I'm ready. That's what I've been feeling lah. Macam I wasn't ready for this at all. Macam me going for Umrah, but then macam I macam berbelah bagi jugalah because I feel like, I feel bad juga sebab kan macam people are excited to go kan. Macam it's an opportunity yang susah nak dapat kan. So and then my mom said like, this is like, you're chosen for this trip, you should be grateful somehow kan. So I was like, okay, so I prepare lah macam biasa kan. I didn't even go for the kursus sebab masa tu kat Unimas kan. I think uh, I took the flight to KL, and then a few days terus pergi Umrah.
Wow.
Macam
Wow.
tu. So macam like, I didn't even get to reflect properly on the journey except masa flights ke sana lah. But alhamdulillah, like I alhamdulillah, like it was a very spiritual journey jugalah for me masa kat sana.
I
Alhamdulillah.
mean, it wasn't your fault kan kalau macam tu. I mean, if the way I see it, I think it's like rezeki datang tak sangka macam
Ah,
tu,
ah,
like
ah.
unexpected macam tu. So you don't have time to react, and that's fine. I think that's fine. Hmm.
Oh. Okay, that's from a good perspective jugalah. Yeah. Macam because I kept feeling macam, oh, that was bad of me not to feel excited about it sebab tak tahulah. Maybe
No, 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 no. I definitely didn't think like it was bad of you ke apa. I think everyone has their own experience kan, and especially going to a foreign country, we would have that mixed feelings knowing that it's a huge thing kan for a
mm-mm.
Muslim. So of course we will feel like this responsibility for us to perform well
Yeah.
during our umrah. So I can understand that.
Oh. And then the exercise part kan, I'm just grateful that in Unimas it's so big. Uh, we've been walking around kan, so I feel like okay, I'm prepared in that sense lah. So macam kat sana masa buat yang apa tawaf dengan sa'i tu, okay, alhamdulillah, not bad.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. Did you have any expectations before flying to Saudi Arabia? Like,
Okay, well, um related to your response tadi kan,
uh,
weeks before going there, I was actually terrified tau. I used to
uh,
read the magazine Mustika. Is it Mustika or Mastika? Do you
Mastika.
remember that? Mastika, when I was much younger,
Oh,
and
yang
it is
okay.
filled with stories of people being punished for their sins in Mecca.
Oh,
So
betul betul.
knowing myself and my own sins, I was like, man, what if I'm gonna get my own kifarah too? Like, I also heard lots of pantang larang by other people to watch our tongue, to think twice before you say anything. So I also felt like a part of me don't deserve to be a guest of Allah. Like, why
Oh.
me out of all people? I didn't think I was like welcome. And there's a story of people going there, but they become temporarily blind, as in they can't see the Kaaba at all, even though it's in front of them. So during my whole flight, I was like, what if I couldn't see it? I was actually panicking about, but alhamdulillah, I did see it in front of my eyes. So,
Alhamdulillah.
husnuzon to Allah tu perlu. Second, turns out not everyone who lives in Mecca is a good person. That
Mm.
should be a common sense, but I naively thought otherwise. Yeah, I mean, even in Mecca, there are thieves, liars, and creepy dudes, and even disrespectful ustazah. So I'm just saying that even though the place is holy, it doesn't ensure that you would become holy even though
Mm-mm.
you live there.
I see. Your stories on the bad stories regarding experiences during Umrah dengan Hajj tu is totally betul. Like, I used to read that. I used to read them too, and I felt like, oh my god, like,
Mastika.
mastika, macam like, you know, people buat umrah, haji kan, and then yeah, I've read those stories juga, and macam I did have those thoughts juga lah, macam, yeah, what if like I'm being punished there, like, you know, I don't want to have that kind of experience
Hmm.
kan. Macam I did think of that juga lah. But then before, macam I think dekat airport kot, my cousin, she went to Umrah already lah, and then I was like macam, uh, macam apa, panic jugalah, macam, you know, like I didn't know what to expect, and then she said like, don't worry about it, and then she said you will feel so like, um amazed. I don't know, I can't find the right word for it, tapi macam akan ada satu rasa ni lah when you see the Kaabah, when the first time you see the
Hmm,
Kaabah.
true.
Some people even cried when they first saw it, and I don't know what it is, but somehow her words make me feel excited to see the
Hmm.
Kaabah. Macam, you know, I can't wait when to go down there and see it, you know. And you know what, the feeling that I have exactly matches her words tau. Macam kan, Kaabah tu kan dekat bawah kan, like you have to turun tangga kan. Usually I just listen to people's stories, macam like it's not flat, like you have to go down kan. I cannot imagine tau actually sebenarnya benda tu. But rupa-rupanya
Oh.
kan. I was macam, kenapa nak kena turun bawah, like kenapa tak flat, you know. So kan, and then bila dah rasa benda tu, oh rupanya like, you know, dia macam melengkung ke bawah kan. So
Mhm.
bila I turun and then nampak Kaabah tu kan, I was like, ya Allah, subhanallah, macam I don't know, that feeling macam, wow, I'm
Yeah,
finally I'm finally seeing it, you know. I've been praying my whole life towards this Kaabah kan, and I'm here. Macam tu lah.
true. Like, it's a different feeling bila like when we pray kan, and we see the Kaabah on the prayer mat je tau. And
Mm-mm.
it's a totally different feeling when we see it right in front of our eyes and not
Kan.
below us, like in the picture, in the form of picture anymore,
Mm-mm.
like not in front of the TV screen, things like that. So yeah, it's very surreal, I would say.
It was very surreal and macam magical punya juga. Do you notice the aura? Macam aura.
The vibe.
Ada vibe. Macam, I don't know, it feels macam exaggerate pula kan nak kata magical, but it was exactly how I felt lah in Medina dengan Mekah. Macam there's this vibe yang macam so pleasant. I feel that lah. I think people
True.
kena experience it baru orang tahu kot. Macam kalau kita, I think orang yang pernah pergi je tahu rasa dia macam mana.
Mm-hmm.
Kan? And then, do you, okay, we've talked about expectations. Did you perhaps have any doubts before leaving for, you know, for Umrah? Apart from,
Uh, any doubt? Those two lah, those two that I've mentioned, those two are the things. I mean, I've been doubting myself lah for the whole trip. So and then one of them is that, like, can I mention, like, before going there I was terrified, I have self doubts, and then it turns all right. But then the second one is that I thought the people there are all right, but turns out not all of them are all right. So yeah. Mm.
so, apa benda lah yang cakap tadi, lupa pula dah. Macam, hmm, like, like you said lah, macam, doesn't mean that the people kat situ semua baik-baik kan, because humans kan, perhaps, kan orang cakap, tadi you mention dalam buku Mastika kan, macam ada, you know, people yang experience temporary blindness lah, you know, they've gotten their kifarah there kan. But I am sure mesti you ada experience a challenging kind of experience masa you do umrah kan.
Oh, of course I
Okay.
do.
So if you don't mind, what was your challenging experience masa you buat umrah?
Challenging experience. Does it regard to, like, other people, yang other bad people, or
Whichever you are comfortable to share with us.
alright? I think I can share about the good people that turns out not very good people though.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I think you're familiar with thieves. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I mention thieves, I don't. I mean, of course, they are like in Malaysia. We are used to people stealing slipper je kan dekat
Mm-hmm.
surau. But the tips in Mecca, what I mean is that um, my dad, he actually bought like a pack of chocolates now,
Uh-huh.
a pack of chocolates, just like normal chocolates, but the price was way up, like very very pricey. But my dad was like, oh, maybe it's Mecca thing, you know, so
Oh.
kind of thing. So he just bought them all, and then not after quite some time later, we found the exact same chocolate with a different seller
Uh-huh.
and much cheaper. Like the range difference is really wide lah. So I would say like, so that's the first thing that we experience. You know, getting cheated on. I wouldn't say they are thieves lah, but still, it's a bad feeling to to be experienced. And then second one, oh yeah, I think those are categorized under liars, coaching, sebagai idol, the kelas people. But then, and then there are also creepy dudes tau. I don't know if I experienced this, but then most of the sellers are actually very respectful. But then there are a couple of them,
Mm-hmm.
and like when we were shopping, when we were buying things, and then uh for apa tu, for our friends juga. And
Uh-huh.
then uh, it's kind of makes me really uncomfortable how the guys thought that me and three of my siblings
Mm-hmm.
and my mom are the wives of my dad, you know.
Oh.
It's all, so that's actually makes me really comfortable. They would ask like, "Are they all your wives?" And like, so, and then my dad would say, "No, no, daughters." And then they would say, "Oh, so it means I have a chance then."
What
And
the
then
heck?
my dad, yes, and then my dad was pointed to my younger sister and told him she's 15, like to show that they are underage, you know. So
Mm-mm.
but then surprisingly, the guy said even better,
What the
and he showed a
heck?
thumbs up.
Oh
And then
my
my
god.
dad was already cursing in BM, you know, at that time. And he didn't give a care that we are in Mecca anymore. And then so that was creepy about his experience. And then there were also disrespectful ustazah too. And what I mean by that is that there are ustazahs
Mm-hmm.
who live there, but they are from Asian country. I wouldn't want to mention which Asian country. Let's just say an Asian country. And then they were supposed to assist us females,
Mm-hmm.
women, to the Raudah, you know, the place where Rasulullah SAW used to pray
Mm-hmm.
for Qiyam. And then to enter there, we have to wait a long queue, you know.
Mm-mm.
So while waiting, this ustazah cannot keep her chill, you know. They keep on gossiping about the sisters who work there, you know, the Arabic sisters who work there,
Uh-huh.
in Pia and Bukai all. They
Mm-hmm.
were gossiping about them, they were bad mouthing about them the whole time. We were waiting, like us, the muhrims kind of, were
Mm-hmm.
just waiting patiently, like no big deal, you know. But then they were the one who were very impatient. I don't know for what. They're so triggered for what. I don't know. So and then that that really made me uncomfortable too. I mean, we are Muslims, right? And they were
Mm-mm.
living there for God knows how long. So scary.
They
So
should
yeah,
be.
that's about it.
Oh, so they were complaining about those sisters who are, um, what,
Holding the line.
the ones
They
that
want
are
to
ushering,
enter.
right?
Oh yeah, yeah. They want to enter. They want to do their job like really quick lah. Maksudnya
Mm-mm.
ustazah tu. So
Mm-mm.
they were very impatient.
I've actually had similar experience with, you've had experience with chocolate, right? But
Mm-hmm.
mine was like perfume, I think. We
Oh.
we were we want to buy perfume because in the masjid kan, the carpet smells so nice, right? Like they
Mm-hmm.
put this perfume, I think they call it Rauda perfume or something. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
sure, but we were trying to find the same kind of perfume lah. And yeah, we had to go to like shops because each uh, apa shop after shop kan mesti lain-lain dapat perfume dia. Like there's this one shop dia bagi lotion kat kita orang instead of like actual perfume. And I was like, Masa dekat hotel tu buka kan, why is this sticky? And it turns out it's body lotion. I'm like, okay.
What?
Right, right, guys. Thanks for
Okay.
lying, but
Um,
and then in the end we just bought dekat proper shopping mall kan.
mhm.
Yeah, the perfume lah. So macam yes, so I got my perfume lah. So macam bila pakai tu macam teringat.
Oh, wow. I didn't stumble on that perfume pun. Just ada jumpa sejadah je, sejadah
Oh,
raudah tu
Selena
kan.
Rauda.
Very, very pretty.
Kan. And then challenge, I think, yeah, I think memang tak boleh lari lah challenge dengan people. I think Alhamdulillah lah so far our experience masa umrah pun tak adalah kot yang, you know, macam I was, yeah, macam expecting something terrible tapi teruknya macam why am I expecting something like that. Tapi macam just challenges dengan people je lah. Tapi surprisingly, bukan dengan
Mhm.
orang Arab tau, dengan orang Asian.
Oh, okay,
Macam
okay.
macam like, you know the hotel yang kita, tu kan mestilah ada Asian people juga kan. I was so angry sebab kan macam macam mana, like the 5 daily prayers tu kita orang nak solat dekat masjid tau.
Mhm.
So kita orang selalu tak dapat makan sebab dia orang dah habiskan makanan. Ah,
Oh, oh my god. Ni the other Murims ke in your field trip? Field trip pula dah. Umrah trip.
what do
Like
you mean?
the other one, like the ones with your under your package juga ke?
Ah,
Like going on the same bus trip tu lah.
ah.
Oh,
Ah.
that's very inconsiderate.
Yeah, but then I feel like I was so angry. I don't know why I was so angry at that time. Maybe sebab lapar kot. So macam and then somehow kita orang just bought our own food je lah kan. You know, biar je lah diorang nak makan. But I was so angry lah. I remember feeling so angry sebab kita lapar, balik nak makan tengok dah habis. So macam
Mm-mm.
macam tu lah kot challenges dia. And then I noticed the thoughts part tu memang betul lah. Macam apa benda yang kita cakap tu, apa percakapan kita semua memang kena betul-betul jaga. Because I notice benda tu memang jadi. Sebab
Oh.
masa solat kan, when I was praying, time tu kan COVID dah you know, starting juga kan. Tapi time tu it's
Mhm.
still okay kat situ kan. Uh, I was just thinking kat belakang, behind me there was someone coughing tau, and I remember thinking, oh my god, like this person was coughing, like you know, I was just thinking something like that lah, and then she didn't stop coughing, you know, she didn't stop coughing, and somehow like it disturbs me the whole praying session. So I was like, oh my
Oh.
god, I definitely need to guard my thoughts because those things do materialize.
Mm. Wait,
Mm.
did you guys have to wear a mask already at that time?
No, we
Oh,
didn't.
okay, okay.
So we were talking about Rauda just now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how's your experience with Rauda? Did you get to enter it?
Well, we did, but it was very, very packed. Like, it it wasn't it wasn't the most comfortable prayer that I have performed. Because I mean and then the Indonesian lady,
Mm-hmm.
there's a group of Indonesian lady ni kan with
Mm.
her students, and they were very, very helpful tau. They helped us to like create a line instead of, okay, everyone was like praying everywhere tau. But
Oh.
you could like wake up in someone else garment tau actually. Like you wake up from sujud and you'll be like, oh my god, is it? So it's you have to be careful lah, and then your head could be bashed with other people's legs. So you have to be really careful. And then this Indonesian lady, teacher
Mm-hmm.
lah, with her students, they are really respectful and really considerate that they help to build like a line.
Mm-hmm.
They are not like the assistants yang kerja sana ke apa, but
Mm-hmm.
they are Muslims too like us. And then so they help us to build like a proper line tau. They guide
Mm-hmm.
us. They become like the one who you here, you know. So it helps actually to have one who conducts the prayer. So we have a proper line, and alhamdulillah lah. And you know, even though it was very uncomfortable, but then the moment when you sujud, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I did my sujud, you know, when I apa tu, nak apa, doa lah, yang berdoa
Mhm.
dalam sujud tu, dalam hati tu, waktu tu memang tak rasa comfortable dah. Rasa tu macam dia pergi. Rasa tu macam, okay, it's just between me and God right now. Like, between the sujud kan,
Mhm.
with your head on the prayer mat, or with on the apa, on the raudah mat kan, you dah macam tak fikir dah pasal all those noises, they disappear tau. I
Hmm.
didn't want to sound to make it sound like macam cerita fantasy ke apa, but
But
it's what
it's
I
actually
experienced lah.
yeah. Mm.
So like it's just between me and God at that time. So, and I just it's like a flashback tau. My whole life like came right into my eyes macam tu, cik overnya kan. But that's how I felt, like macam, okay, this is my chance to ask for anything. Macam tu, like, what do I actually want to ask? This is where Rasulullah SAW used to pray. What do I actually want to ask? So yeah, my mind get into that headset lah.
That's beautiful. I actually didn't think that I would even get to enter Rauda because you know how hard it is for ladies to get inside, kan?
True, true.
Like the guys got it. I think they have like a bigger space. Was it? I'm not too sure lah.
Oh,
But
I'm not sure.
but I think the ladies they have like the timings kan macam only certain period of time and then only limited amount yang boleh masuk. So I remember I think it was a few days before kita orang akan pergi Mekah kot. Um, we were just waiting lah. Just trying our luck lah kan. Just waiting. I was sleeping. patutnya patutnya mengaji kan. Teruk betul. Like okay fine lah. I was like mengaji a bit and then tidur sikit lah kan.
Okay, okay.
Because it was so early in the morning lah. And then somehow I was like, okay, I was thinking macam, do, would we even get this opportunity to go into Rauda atau macam tu lah. And then tiba-tiba, pintu tu, kan we didn't even know where the door is kan. I don't know lah, but tiba-tiba pintu yang dekat, okay, macam nak cakap, like we were on the right side, pintu tu on the far left side, macam tu. Tiba-tiba dia
Oh, okay,
terbuka.
okay. Uh-huh.
Tiba-tiba like these two macam orang worker tu kot dia buka pintu tu. And then like these ladies kan menderu-deru masuk pintu tu. And I was so terpinga-pinga tau macam kenapa, what's going on, macam diorang semua menderu-deru. And then my mom pun macam bangun-bangun ni, apa nak masuk Rauda ni.
Oh, okay.
And I was like you know that character dalam cerita
Dah tengok
horror tu.
mamai.
Kau tengok apa kan? I was like that character dalam horror movie tu yang macam almari nak timpa dia tu tapi dia tak gerak-gerak tu kan. That was me. Ah, I was like, what's going on? And then dia macam menderu-deru and then pintu tu dia nak tutup tau. And I was like, betul ke? Alah sempat ke nak masuk ni? Macam sebab dia jauh tau. And then my mom was like, jom cepat. You know right? And I was like, boleh pula macam terpinga-pinga kan nak masuk ke tak? Macam and I was like, masuk je lah kan. Sempat kot kan. And then dapat masuk before dia tutup pintu tu.
Wish. Wow.
Tu
Like
lah.
a movie scene.
Ya, like dramatic gila. Tapi memang sungguh benda tu jadi. And then bila masuk tu macam ramai tapi somehow macam orang tak berhimpit-himpit sangat because I kept praying macam I remember I kept praying macam tolonglah please lah jangan ada orang squeeze aku macam tu lah kan. Like, I don't want to get squeezed too much kan. But alhamdulillah lah macam the way for us to go to that part of Rauda kan macam tak orang tak macam himpit-himpit, orang tak ada squeezes
Oh,
too much lah. Macam there's
okay, okay.
and then you know there's like macam a waiting area kan before you can go inside there kan.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So kita orang duduk je dekat situ masa tunggu orang lain sebab tak naklah berpusu-pusu kan.
mm-hmm.
And then we just sat there until macam dah tak ramai sangat orang baru kita orang masuk dekat Rauda tu. Like that part. Alhamdulillah lah it was something that I could never forget lah.
Mm.
And then time tu
I
juga
feel like
huh?
your experience sounds better lah than mine, because you said tak ada banyak orang himpit sangat kan.
Uh-huh.
And that sounds very convenient lah to pray.
Tapi you know how they are macam I don't understand why they have to step on each other faham tak?
Tahu? Itulah. Okay, agresif betul.
They're very aggressive. I feel like relax. Like you come in here to pray, kan? Like should and
Mm-mm.
then at that time kan mulalah this philosophical side of me pops up kan macam oh my god humans. I could have I could have feeling like why are we all like this? Like if we are organized, everybody can pray in a peaceful manner kan. Like
True, true.
macam nak cepat-cepat buat apa, you know? Memanglah tempat tu tutup cepat but if you tolerate each other kan I think we all will get a chance to pray in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I tengok
I mean,
lah.
it's about adab too, you know.
Adab,
Like,
yes,
uh,
exactly, the adab.
praying in the place where Rasulullah Sallam used to pray, and then
Yes.
you must like remember all of his adab. You know, you must
Hmm.
hayati semua tu. So if you hayati, if you really hayati, you should apply that in your adab too. You know, we are
Yeah.
Muslims.
Yeah, exactly. I find it so yes, exactly. That's exactly how I felt time tu macam ni macam kita dalam tempat Rasulullah kot. Where's your adab? You know, I kept thinking that macam you know, I feel so ashamed of myself and the people there. Macam why are
Mm-hmm.
we like this? We're Muslims. We're supposed to um have supposedly have good akhlak kan. Why are we behaving like this? Depan Rasulullah pula tu, you know. Macam and then they were like trying to reach out to his makam kan.
Mm-hmm.
So macam
Oh, you get to visit his makam ke?
tak.
I pun tak.
Sebab ramai sangat. So macam yeah, I can only sit dia jauh macam sedihnya. Tengok dia jauh je.
During my time, the place, the makam tu was like bukan lock, dia macam tak bagi visit waktu tu. I don't know
Oh.
why.
Oh. I think masa I visit dia it's open cuma I didn't get to go to that side
Oh, I see, I
because
see.
ramai sangat orang. You know people were berpaut dekat tiang kot. It's like a sea of people, you know, like I was trying so hard not to get stepped on, you know. it it was funny juga lah macam I can only look at the ceiling. Like I cannot even
I'm imagining right now. Eh?
it was so ramai and then you also have to look dekat bawah juga sebab ada pula yang tengah bersujud lah kan.
True, true.
So you have to be
Takut
careful.
buat dosa pula.
Aduh, it's so funny lah tapi yeah. Hmm. So and then um I think I managed to macam explore the whole outside of the masjid kan and then kita boleh pray dekat apa dekat luar masjid tu kan apa nama macam mana ada makam Nabi tu kan kita boleh visit dari luar juga kan.
Uh-huh.
I get to pray dekat situ lah and then you know
Oh.
I've had this like overwhelming feeling masa tengah praying dekat situ. I don't know like but everybody did you know like diorang semua macam menangis jugalah. I don't know macam it's just a feeling that maybe sebab tu kau orang kata Rasulullah tu macam connected to us kan.
Mm-hmm.
Even though kita ni tak adalah macam baik mana kan tapi somehow we are connected to him masa kat sana. Serius rasa macam I don't know I feel like I can feel Allah punya mercy lah. I don't know how to say it in words but I can definitely feel his love and mercy upon me even though I am not such a good Muslim anyway kan. Best lah, best.
Itulah bila tak sempat nak melawat makam tu kan.
Mhm.
I feel like it create tu jugalah it create a hope for us,
Mhm.
like for me juga, macam like to go there one day, like
Mhm.
to go again and to actually pay a proper visit tau, like
Yeah.
to his makam macam tu lah. Like I mean the things that we didn't get to do kan,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean like it actually macam ni buat kita like semangat nak pergi lagi macam tu lah.
Yeah, betul. I really want to go again lah. I really want to go again. So
InsyaAllah.
Um, so what are your like feelings and emotions during the Umrah trip? Like or do you have like a particular set of emotions when you are in Medina and in Mecca?
I feel like in general, like, and
Mm.
the whole thing, it was such a humbling journey, like I would say, and it helps me to reflect like the love that I have for
Mm-hmm.
the Prophet and the Sahabat tau. Like
Mm.
there was this video kan that I
Mm-hmm.
watched before going there, a
Mm-hmm.
video of Sheikh Hamzah Yusuf lah telling the
Mm-hmm.
story of Laila Majnun tau. The title is like True Love or something, and then he told in the video how this
Mm-hmm.
guy named Kois fell in love with Laila
Uh-huh.
to the point where when she was no longer there, he visited the places she used to be and touch those walls tau, the walls of the places, and people would be laughing at him, saying how obsessed he was with these walls. And Sheikh Hamza said that it's not the places, it was love for the one who is gone. And she relates this with the love for the Prophet. Like we visited these places because he was there, he
Mm-hmm.
walked there, and that's a lingering thought that I had through my whole Umrah journey. I was like, this land that I walk on used to be the land that he walked on, you know, all the places. Those when you read stories about the places and you're like, oh, this happened, that happened. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
become really nostalgic
Meaningful.
lah, huh?
Yeah.
Even though you weren't there, you know. So and then you remember why they why they fight for all those battles, you know, against macam-macam puak dah kan, for
Mm-mm.
us, you know, and how we are able to get there now. How like we wouldn't be there in Mecca if it weren't for him who conquered the Mecca in the first place. So you know, yeah, it's really nostalgic lah. And also you know how like I mentioned just now, how people would say watch out for this and that, all the patang larang kan,
Mm-mm.
when you are in Mecca. But then if you think about it, everywhere is actually Allah's land tau. I mean,
Mm-mm.
even if you are in space, you are still under his control, under his power. So I feel like we are extra cautious in Mecca, but the moment we are out of there, does it mean that we can no longer give a care on our actions? Like it's like Ramadan juga lah, macam during this holy month kan, we be like,
Mm-mm.
you know, can't watch this in Ramadan, it's haram, or like you shouldn't be gossiping, it's Ramadan. Like when those things have always been haram in the first place, you know. So I
Yeah.
feel like I wonder if I live in Mecca, would
Mm-hmm.
I stop caring of my actions, my words, and how I manage my time there? Because I would feel like comfortable enough. Would I be like one of those people who I mentioned earlier yang macam tinggal dekat Mekah tapi macam perangai macam tu juga kan, would I end up like them if I live there? So that's a scary thought to think of.
That's so deep. That's really deep though. Oh, oh. Betul, because yeah, like you kept thinking macam, oh, like you know Mecca is this land yang kita kena jaga-jaga our thoughts and all that kan. Tapi yeah, everywhere is his land, you know. Macam everywhere is his space. Like what rights do we have untuk buat sesuka hati kita kan?
Mhm.
That is a very humbling thought lah. I should really macam keep that in mind. Um, so did you have like any unforgettable anecdotes during your umrah? Like
uh,
one thing that you would never, you know, tak kisahlah good or bad. It's something simple ke. Hmm.
well, I have a couple, but I will share one of them like
Uh,
and but it wasn't during our time in Mecca or Medina. It was actually during our flight trip to go back to Malaysia.
uh,
On the way back home, we experienced the most horrifying turbulence, the scariest I've ever had. And the makcik besides us were already reciting her shahadah, you know,
oh,
selawat and all.
Masya
Like
Allah.
people were gasping with each shake, and I feel like I feel like, oh, maybe this is it, you know. Like dapur Umrah, maybe this is it. And you know what I did? I actually during this the time like this, it's like when you reflect, actually you reflect things you have done,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually did a nazar. Like you see, I'm a simple slave of God, and in that moment, I actually make a promise to God that if this plane landed safely to our destination, I would do this and that. Like I've mentioned it in my prayer lah.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be clear lah, to people listening to this podcast, Nazar is not sunnah actually. It's not recommended actually because I've heard that if you want to do something, you should just do it. You don't have to have be reminded of near death experience to do the thing that you promised to God you would do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was terrified at the moment, so I did that. On the good side is that the Nazar actually helped me to change for the better even after the Umrah journey because I promised to God that I would do this and that. So even after the Umrah ended, I still have my promise intact now with God to do the extra measures, extra steps. So Alhamdulillah for that lah.
Alhamdulillah. Wow. But then, yeah, sebab the journey was quite long kan.
Yes, yes, it was.
I'm I'm actually glad that you all went through safely. If not,
Alhamdulillah.
I don't know what I would do if I don't have you here.
Oh, we will have this podcast now.
So, for the final question, post Umrah things. What do you feel?
Oh,
Like post Umrah, like you know, I feel like we might have our own reflections. Maybe after we did our Umrah kan, like did you feel for me kan macam I feel like macam blanked out. I don't know. Macam dia macam rasa baru balik daripada somewhere yang
jauh.
amazing. Jauh. And then kita macam feeling a bit displaced. That's for me
Uh,
lah. But what about you?
Okay, remember about the notebook that I mentioned earlier, like the
Uh-huh.
one that I brought? Like, I have a journal, a real journal, again,
Uh-huh.
actually. So I transferred those things that I wrote on that notebook to my journal, and as a reflection, lah, like you said. And to be frank, I would say that the Umrah has definitely transformed me into like a noble person. Now that I done my Umrah, I'm now a completely new Alia. Definitely no lah. I still sin daily in lots of ways. Even the sins like before my Umrah trip, there are some that I still bring forward even though I didn't want to. So Umrah doesn't guarantee you to become 100% to become 100% better or even 1% actually. That's not Umrah's job. But
Mm-mm.
just like Ramadan, people still sin even after fasting the whole month kan. But I
Mm-mm.
believe that what we seek in our effort is what we will get. Like if we seek for his forgiveness in the Umrah trip or Ramadan and we pursue it,
Mm-hmm.
inshallah Allah will help us. Like he will make it easy on us. Like the same thing with wanting to become better. It won't be easy, but that's the sweetness of it, you know, like what's it called? Halawatul Iman. That
Mm.
everywhere we are can be a journey to cleanse ourselves. We don't have to wait for an Umrah trip to do purification, you know,
Mm-hmm.
even though Umrah trip works as a great booster for us,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the purpose for a great booster. But in the end, the result it actually up to us too, and Allah's mercy definitely.
That is such a beautiful reflection. Definitely. Definitely. I think that's one misconception that we often had, you know. Um, the same with Ramadan lah. Like, you know, when people go for Umrah kan, some people have expectations when they got back from it, like kita akan transform, you know, from someone yang pakai tudung biasa-biasa je, tiba-tiba pakai tudung labu ke, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We have the expectations for ourselves and other people yang tahu kita pergi umrah tu pun have expectations for ourselves. Macam, you know, sometimes they expect that our attitudes become better.
Mm-hmm.
Kan? But you're right. Macam, umrah or Ramadan is not the one yang, you know, responsible for our changes. Kita actually. Kan? It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter if we go for umrah ke Ramadan ke, like, the effort lies within us, and if we ask for Allah, you know, if we sincerely want to do it, I think Allah will definitely help. Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Alia, for your input today. It's so amazing. I've really enjoyed having you on our podcast today. You have been such an amazing person today, Alia. Thank you.
It was very enjoying for me too to have very enjoyable for me too to have this conversation with you, and I'm very glad to have this podcast with you. Thank you.
So, would you like to say anything before we end today's episode?
I just want to say that I pray for every one of us who wish to be a guest of Allah SWT. May Allah SWT make it easy for us, especially those who have never set a foot there yet. It
Mm.
doesn't mean that Allah rejects our du'as or anything like that. It's just as the famous saying like an internet says, in the internet. We have been seeing, we have heard people saying kan, like it's not Allah knows the right time. Allah is the best planner. And maybe like pun sekarang COVID kan.
Mm-mm.
Allah knows when. And even if those who have visited like Shaida and I, let's pray for Allah to make it easier for us to come back a second time, even with even better niat, even more prepared, and come back to our original hometown with actually with becoming a better uh, Muslim lah.
Amin, amin, inshallah. Okay, with that, thank you very much for listening to this episode. Feel free to like, subscribe if you like, listening to this podcast. And if you have any comments, you can drop it down below. So, with that, thank you very much. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.